There's a world hidden behind high walls, razor wire, and silence. A place where every sound, every whisper, every footstep means something. This is St. Dymphna Correctional Facility, one of the most secretive women's prisons in America. Built in the early 1960s, it was designed to rehabilitate. But over the years, it became known for something else entirely. A place of control, of punishment, of forgotten women. What you're about to see was never meant for the public. Most people think women's prisons are calmer than men's. They imagine soft-spoken inmates, maybe tears and regrets. But behind these walls, you'll find rage, alliances, manipulation, and survival. Because in here, emotions are weapons. When the gates close, the world outside disappears, and what's left is a fight for respect and sanity. New inmates call it the walk. That first march through the corridor after the transport van doors slam shut. You've got shackles around your ankles, wrists cuffed, and the sound echoes, metal clanging against tile. They strip you of everything, your name, your clothes, your sense of safety. You're issued a number, a jumpsuit, and a rule book no one ever explains. The women of St. Dymphna know what that first night feels like. No one sleeps. Some cry quietly into the thin pillow. Others just stare at the ceiling, listening to distant screams and metal doors slamming. For the first time you realize you're not just locked in, you're erased. Every prison has rules, but the ones that matter aren't written down. You learn fast. Don't ask questions you don't want answers to. Don't touch another inmate's things. Don't talk to guards unless you have to. And above all, never snitch. Inside St. Dymphna, the queens run the tiers. Older women, some serving life. They control the phones, the food trades, even who gets protection. If they don't like you, you won't last. Then there's the mothers, the ones who take in new inmates, teach them the ropes, offer advice. But even kindness here has a price. Nothing is free, not food, not favors, not friendship. Every smile hides a motive. Every offer hides a trap. When you're locked away, money loses meaning. So they build their own economy. Tampons, instant coffee, ramen noodles, they're gold in here. Trade a soup pack for laundry detergent. Trade a lipstick for a secret phone call. It's an entire underground system, run with precision, secrecy, and fear. And if someone doesn't pay up, things can get violent fast. Guards know it happens. Some even take a cut. Others turn a blind eye because they know the trade keeps the peace. But sometimes it explodes. A debt unpaid can mean a night in the infirmary, or worse, an accident no one talks about. Every prison has two worlds, the one the public sees and the one that actually runs the place. At St. Dymphna, the guards are not just enforcers, they're dealers, power brokers, and sometimes predators. They can make life easy or make it hell. They decide who gets yard time, who gets moved, who disappears into solitary for investigation. To the outside world, it looks like order. Uniforms, structure, routine. But talk to any inmate and they'll tell you, the guards don't need bars to control you. They use fear. Some guards trade contraband for silence. Others cross the line entirely, forming relationships with inmates, smuggling in drugs or phones, pretending it's love. But in here, love is just another kind of leverage. And when things go bad, when someone talks, it doesn't end in justice. It ends in punishment. A night in the hole, a beating, a transfer that's never recorded. Because St. Dymphna protects its own. They call it the hole. The official name is administrative segregation. But it's really a coffin built of concrete and silence. You don't know what time it is. You don't know who's outside. You only know your thoughts, and they're screaming. Inmates say you start to lose track of days after the third sunrise. Some start talking to themselves. Some start scratching words into the walls. Others stop talking entirely. And the guards? They use the hole like a weapon, a warning, a reminder of who's in charge. One former inmate, Lacey, described her time there in a letter smuggled out to her sister. I tried to count the days, but I lost track after 30. The lights never go off. The food comes through a slot, like I'm an animal. Sometimes I hear screaming. Sometimes I realize it's mine. But even in darkness, the women at St. Dymphna build their own kind of power. They call it the Sisterhood, a secret network of trust, protection, and survival. They hide letters inside shampoo bottles, pass notes through laundry carts, warn each other when the guards are in a bad mood. In a place built to divide them, they find ways to unite. Some of these bonds run deeper than friendship. Romantic relationships between inmates are forbidden, but they happen anyway. Hidden glances in the cafeteria, late-night whispers through vents. It's the only form of comfort many have left. But the moment a guard catches on, someone gets moved. Because love, like everything else here, is considered a threat. Every few years, tension boils over. The women say it's like a pressure cooker. Too many rules, too much fear, too little hope. And when one spark catches, everything burns. In 2015, there was a night the administration never admitted to. An entire block refused to lock down. Someone had been beaten in the showers. Word spread fast. Dozens of women refused orders. They stood shoulder to shoulder chanting, banging trays on the bars. The official report called it a disturbance, but the women called it what it was, a cry for help. It lasted only minutes before tear gas filled the air. Bodies dropped. Coughing, crying, chaos. When it was over, 3 women were hospitalized. One never came back. Her name was Danielle Moore, age 27. The cause of death, heart failure. The truth, still classified. No one outside the walls ever heard about it. No reporters, no headlines. Just another erased story in a system built to keep secrets. Inside the women's prison, you were never meant to see. Silence is survival, and truth is contraband. Every prison has its heart, and at St. Dymphna, it beats inside cell block D. That's where the mothers live. Women who've been inside for decades. They've seen everything: riots, suicides, transfers, and lies. They teach survival. They protect the weak. They mourn the lost. One of them, Rosa Alvarez, has been here 26 years. She killed her abusive husband. Self-defense, she says. But the court didn't listen. Now she's the unofficial warden of the women. She settles disputes before they turn violent. She hides notes for guards who can't be trusted. And when someone new arrives, she's the first to whisper, "Keep your head low, baby. Listen before you talk." Rosa has a daughter on the outside, 32 years old now, who's never once visited. But she still writes letters. Dozens of them, hidden under her mattress. They're her only proof that she still matters to someone. But trust here is like currency, and it can bankrupt you fast. When the smuggling network started falling apart, someone had to take the fall. A contraband phone was found in a laundry bin. A guard was suspended, and the administration wanted names, so they made one up. They said Rosa ran the network. They threw her in the hole. 2 months. No sunlight, no trial. And when she came back, Everything had changed. The Sisterhood was fractured. Whispers filled the air. Everyone wanted to know who really set her up. Later it came out, through a smuggled recording, that it was another inmate. A young woman named Tiffany who'd been promised early parole if she cooperated. But she didn't get it. And the moment word spread, Tiffany vanished from general population. Transferred, they said. No paperwork ever showed up. The truth about St. Dymphna might have stayed buried forever, if not for a local reporter named Elena Vasquez. In 2018, she started receiving anonymous letters, smuggled out through family members. Each one detailed a different abuse. Each one came from a different inmate. She thought it was just another lead. But the more she read, the more she realized this was systemic. One letter said, "If I die in here, tell them it wasn't suicide." Another read, "We can hear the guards laughing outside the hole when we scream." And a third one simply said, "They killed Danielle Moore." Elena tried to verify the story, but when she called the prison's public information office, they told her, "No inmate by that name exists." The more she dug, the more walls she hit. Records erased. Medical files missing. Even death certificates misplaced. Until one day, she received a small package with no return address. Inside, a flash drive. On it, footage from a guard's body camera, never meant to be seen. The footage showed what the prison called a minor disturbance. But the truth was clear. Tear gas. Guards beating women with batons. One inmate collapsing on the floor. Danielle Moore. The guards didn't try CPR. They didn't call medical. They stepped over her body. Elena tried to release the footage, but within days her email was hacked. Her office vandalized, and her main source inside the prison, Rosa Alvarez, disappeared again. The official statement said she was transferred to a federal facility, but no such record exists. To this day, Rosa's location is unknown. Months later, a copy of the footage leaked online. It spread like wildfire. TikTok clips, Reddit threads, late-night news. The internet wanted answers. But St. Dymphna didn't respond. No press conference. No apology. Just silence. Then, something unexpected happened. Former guards started to talk. One guard said, "They told us never to write certain things in reports. If someone died, it was always a medical issue. We were trained to make it disappear." Another added, "We weren't guarding inmates. We were guarding secrets." After months of pressure, the Department of Justice opened an investigation. But the prison system has a long memory, and the people who spoke out started getting threats. Eleanor was followed home. Her car vandalized. Her inbox flooded with anonymous messages. One simply said, "Stop digging." Today, St. Dymphna still operates. Same walls, same staff. New warden, same silence. The investigation stalled. The public forgot. But those who survived inside never did. They say at night you can hear the echoes, laughter from cell block, screams from the hole, and the hum of lights that never go off. Some of the women released still gather once a year at a small diner near the highway. They talk about the ones who didn't make it. They share stories, tears and laughter that sounds half-broken. Rosa's name always comes up. So does Danielle's. One of them said, "You can leave the prison, but the prison never leaves you." This story isn't about criminals. It's about what happens when humanity disappears behind concrete and wire, when justice becomes routine and punishment becomes permanent. They call these places correctional facilities. But inside St. Dymphna, no one gets corrected. they get forgotten. And maybe that's the real punishment. To live in a place where no one believes your story, and no one even remembers your name. If this story shocked you, good. Because it's not just one prison, it's a mirror. And behind that reflection is a question we all have to answer. What does justice really mean when no one's watching? We're still here,